Over the last year, you continue to see significant investments in content. Some have used the term, I think Erica Nardini at AOL had coined the term, this is a barbell market, meaning on the one end of the barbell you're seeing a significant increase in commitment to programmatic video, and on the other end a significant increase to original content. And I think buyers and marketers are still interested in both of the ends of that barbell, and this discussion between the digital video buyer and the television video buyer remains. Is there a way for digital to behave like TV, and how do we come up with a single metric? From my perspective, that's really not the question that we should be asking. The question is, what is the opportunity in the new marketplace, and how do we figure out how to express that in terms of business impact to the clients that are buying this stuff? There's been a lot of evolution in the past year. If you look at the YouTube ecosystem, the 100 channels that they invested in, some of those worked, some of those didn't. And I think over time we'll see that that investment turned out to be a really, really wise one. And the audiences are building on some of those original channel commitments. And if you look at players like Brian Robbins with Awesomeness, they've had tremendous success in a very short period of time. Having said that, I think this year we'll see YouTube start to re-celebrate some of the endemic channel owners that have made it the platform that it is. And part of that is because in a year's time, the amount of progress in creating quality content at scale by a lot of those endemic channel owners like Freddie Wong, like Corridor Digital, like Devin Supertramp, have become incredibly compelling, and advertisers now see them as strong and appropriate places to be. Last year we had this challenge that we brought the industry together for the first ever digital content NewFronts, and we felt from an agency perspective that we had an obligation to really focus and highlight that moment and cross-promote a lot of the content that certainly the founding partners who were involved in the DCNF were showing on their stages. And you saw that at the Digitas event with lots of celebrity talent sharing a lot of the content that they were excited about. This year we see a different mission as Digitas continues to evolve and stay out ahead of where the market is, in that we're going to shift from content to context on our stage. And so while you'll be able to go to a lot of the NewFronts this year and see really cool new stuff to buy, hopefully with the mechanism behind it to be able to sell it and measure it in the way that advertisers need it to be sold and measured. At the Digitas event, we want our clients to be the smartest buyers in the marketplace, and so we're going to arm them with the tools, the new thinking, and the new partners that help them become publishers so that they can make the content investments in the rest of the digital content NewFront offerings and do it in the smartest way. In general, our clients are understanding now that content and social has come together. And so for us, what that means is, how do we create and publish? How do we understand how our involvement in social can be integrated? And so the theme this year for Digitas is around real-time marketing and that opportunity in a larger way. How do we think about going to market with speed, and what are the content strategies to get us there? Who are the partners that are going to get us there? How do we start to think about the way that we're making content investments in the parlance of stock and flow, stuff that we're commissioning and creating in advance, and stuff that we're creating in the moment, and how do we bring that together in a real-time insights, creation, and distribution way? There's a lot of talk about convergence, and people had been talking a year ago about this notion of an IGRP. I think some of that talk has died down. I think the reality is a recent study showed that only 6% of television buyers are really responsible for buying digital video. And so the bulk of the video responsibility from a planning and buying perspective still falls on the digital community, and the agenda there is slightly different. It's not that we don't understand reach and don't want to deliver reach. Reach is critical to being able to justify investments, but the opportunity is really an impact. And impact is really what you get if you focus on engagement and all of the things that get you engagement, which include quality content, social interaction, the tools to continue conversation and keep it going. And that's expensive. And so I think we have to think about, this is going to go one of two ways. Either we're going to figure out how to measure and be able to justify how the investment in content that is engaging actually drives business outcomes in a new way, or we can all just forget about this whole thing and hang up our hats and forget about original content and forget about social and just, buy ad network views and call it a day and do it as cheap as we can. So you have to decide which way you think this is going to go. I don't think it's going to be the latter.